to the punching already.
Alright, we're live. What's up, guys? Sorry about that. Had to get this all figured out here. Okay. Not sure why that's a thing. I have to work on that. Okay. Let's see if I can get rid of this. Okay. Go. Alright, so welcome to a live version of Balrog's Boxer Basics. I'm Ronalo, and today I'm pretty much just going to kind of revisit one thing that I did before. There's just some extra things I want to add. It's not going to be like a super long stream, it might be like an hour at most. Just going to cover anti-airs kind of more in depth on what Balrog can do. Some things I didn't really cover before. So things you can expect are, I'm going to kind of go into special cancel cross-unders. I didn't really do that a whole lot, as well as just kind of cross-unders you can do after anti-airing. We're going to go a little into screw smash practice and how you can kind of do that. Air-to-air stuff. All of that nice stuff, and then I'm going to go a little more into some anti-air options for certain matchups. That's why I have Bison here. We're going to kind of figure out how to deal with his head stomps, his devil reverse, all that stuff, what we can do on that. So let's jump right in here. So first we want to set him to record here. Okay, we just want to set him to record that. What is his cross up? Is that medium kick? Okay, yeah, it is medium kick. Okay. We just want him that. Oh, I did that too early. So gotta work on that. So basically, what this is for some reason I'm not doing it properly right now. Oh, why I'm not doing it properly? Doing the input. Okay. I'll try it with medium punch here. There we go. Okay, so what you can do if you're holding charge is you can actually let go of it and get a cross under like that. If you do a dash V skill cancel. Although I'm doing it too far. So by doing this, it can get you out of the corner. So if, say I'm like fighting Bison here, then I'm able to easily switch it to his side. And if I can do it right, I can actually make it so that I can be plus on it. Which, get like here, that's a little too far. The easier one is just doing an F dash after you do an anti-air. So this is a good option select, doing the F dash, because either way, it leaves you in their face, ready for a throw, ready for a tick throw. You know, kind of whatever, or you can end up behind them if you're close enough. So it's a pretty good option. It's usually what I do just because it's easy. See, then you can do that. You can media it if you time it right. Can't really do anything after crouching hard punch though. That's why medium punch is kind of a better anti-air in a lot of ways because of that. And see, in the corner especially, if he's trying to like get out of the corner, then I can make it hard for him to figure out which side I'm on. So yeah, basically the two kind of cross under tricks you can do with Balrog is after standing medium punch, you can cross with an F dash if you're at the right distances. And then if you're holding charge with either crouch hard punch or standing medium punch, then you can get on the other side of them by doing a dash V skill. So I'm gonna try to see if I can. I don't know why it's not letting me do it with crouch hard punch. I'm wondering if that's something they might have changed or. Okay, there we go. Maybe I'm just doing the timing wrong. I don't know. I don't do it very often with crouch hard punch. I don't think it's as good that way. Yeah, maybe I do have to do it slower. Let me try doing it slower. Nope. I don't know why it's doing that. Just take my word for it. You usually can do it that way. So that's kind of how you can practice his cross under anti-airs, and you can do, you know, like in the previous video I said, you know, you kind of set a Ryu dummy to do several things at once. You can do that with any character, but Ryu's just kind of the basic, you know, he has projectiles and he can jump with cross-ups, so he's a good one to practice with. And beyond that, you basically sorry about that. Okay, so beyond that, you can pretty much pick any character. I just choose to use Ryu for that practice. But we're on Bison right now, and I'll go into his head stomps in a second. What I'm going to go into next is something that Brian F's already covered, so I'm not going to go really in depth in this either. But it's like catching neutral jumps. So we're going to record Bison, and we're going to just do typical Bison things. So Bison things are like doing this in neutral a lot. His walk speed is really crap. Do like that. We'll do this. And we'll do that. So we'll do 3 of them. So basically I'm trying to catch him, you know, I'm trying to catch him neutral jumping because people neutral jump Balrog all the time to try to bait out dash punches. So let me just turn that on and show you kind of an example. If I'm like trying to go in, you know, for a dash punch and everything, and if he, like, see, that'll miss if he jumps at the right time. So I can't just do that all willy-nilly. I have to be watching. So if I'm like that, then I can actually punish that if I'm watching him. Although I'm doing it wrong. You gotta do medium kick if you're at the right distance, and you have to do light kick if you're up close. It's kind of weird. It's easier if you're just holding down forward. On a moving target, it's a little harder. But that's basically what you're doing. You're pre-buffering the uppercut in neutral, so that you can do that at a moment's notice without really trying. So it's what Brian F refers to as jiggling. You're basically wiggling around, you know, doing a DP input, which you have to kind of know the right distance for it. And if you get it at the right timing, then you can actually punish with an EX straight, but it does require the right timing. It's easier to do with light kick screw smash if you can get it, if you're close enough, but I'm not really close enough here. And yeah, you kind of have to time that. right there. But yeah, basically when you're in neutral, you basically just want to kind of do buffer DP motions. That way, anytime that he's doing, you can get something like that. So that's something you can practice. So the way that you practice this is like you set him to do something in neutral, like what I'm doing here. So he's doing a bunch of other stuff right now. Like, see? That took a really long time for him to neutral jump, but I was ready because I was jiggling. So this is the kind of practice you want to do. It takes a while, especially if RNG isn't very kind to you. But yeah, whenever you see players doing this weird thing, partially they're trying to hold charge while getting a little bit of mobility. But they're also doing that so they can, you know, jiggle and pre-buffer it. So yeah, I don't know why a Bison would be doing that down forward thing. That's something that a Ryu would do, so I apologize. I wasn't really simulating that properly, but he's sort of blocking. That's why he's doing that. So yeah, you can like, and then even if you manage to catch him on the right dash, yeah, doing Bison stuff. He doesn't really like neutral jumping that often. You can jiggle for that too, if you have the meter and you want to do that. So those are your options kind of to deal with neutral jumpers. You can also dash straight. It's not very useful. You can EX straight. So like if I'm holding back and I'm like here, you can do that. So that's an option too. That's something kind of worth practicing. I would recommend doing it, you know, kind of the standard 10 times on each side. Practice it. So practice it 10 times on that side. Okay, Bison, stop it. So yeah. Basically, you just want to keep buffering the DPs. So at the moment that he neutral jumps, you're going to be ready for it. Although I wasn't ready for it that time. It's harder for me to do it on the right side. Maybe I need more practice on this too. That was light. I should have done medium. Yeah, you only want to do light if you're like right in their face in the corner and they're trying to neutral jump. And what you can do to make it safe, in case they block it and they try to punish, is you can V-trigger cancel on block. So that's always an option. But yeah, you basically just want to keep pressuring. And of course, you're not really going to hold neutral this long with Balrog most of the time, but if they're like really doing a good job at keeping you at bay, then it may come up. And you can get super fancy combos like that that do no damage. Even what you can do if you catch them and you're not really jiggling at all, like if it catches you off guard but you see them jump, you can actually do that. You have to be kind of fast on the draw though. I wasn't fast enough there. But yeah, you're basically just keeping a tight eye on him, making sure he doesn't make any funny business moves, and then the moment he neutral jumps, you can pop the V-trigger. Although I messed that up. But yeah, you can do a screw smash and then a forward with straight and then a V-skill cancel. You can do that basically at certain distances, but it's kind of hard. I can sort of simulate it here. Oops. In the corner, it's kind of fickle, so I wouldn't recommend it in the corner, but like you can do that. Does pretty good damage. So that's kind of an option you can do after that. So next, that pretty much covers kind of how to practice with the screw smash. Now we're gonna go over just some kind of air-to-air stuff. That's pretty basic. Balrog's best air-to-air is his jump light punch. I just call this one the moon punch because he's kind of floaty when he does it. But basically, if somebody's in the corner, or sorry, if somebody's trying to cross you up like this, let me change his recording. Probably set up way too much there, but wait, that's not that. Okay, so we want this to be in the corner here. Okay, he's backing up way too much. The bane of a charged character. We're gonna have to rewrite all these. Okay. So this one, let me actually push him into the corner first. Okay. That's what I was trying to do, okay. Okay, so that's typical Bison things. That's typical Bison stuff, and then... Oh wait, whoops. Not what I meant to do, okay. So that... we want just get him on the other side of me here. So, like this. Like you see, I can't anti-air him when he jumps at me from this distance. I mean, he's not gonna jump that close, but... Like, if you're in a really tight situation like this, then you can jump back light punch and it will knock him out of this cross up. You kind of have to do it like the moment he jumps, and you have to kind of be at the right distance for it. Okay, that's a little better. But if you're like right here, and you're kind of too far for the regular one, then you can always do that, and that's kind of just a quick option to bop him out of the air. You don't always have frame advantage when you land, but that's kind of the way to do it. It's not what I meant to do, but that works too. So yeah, that's something you can practice doing 10 times consistently. Let's just be ready for that. Which I'm kind of half good at it. So yeah, you can basically just practice off of that. We'll actually jump. RNG really doesn't like me. Okay, And even a trade, you see that puts us in an air reset where we don't really either have frame advantage. So, you know, even a trade doesn't always mess things up. It puts us in neutral rather than giving him frame advantage because he was able to cross me up. Alternatively, if you're in the corner and they're trying to cross you up, you can just let them do it, and then, you know, they're in the corner. So in some ways, that's a more strategic advantage. Just kind of depends on what you want. So now we're gonna kind of go into some bison head stomps. Hold up here. I just want to make sure something. Just want to see. Okay. Okay. I'm getting a video. Oh, I tested it when it started. Okay. Twitch machine gun unplugged. Okay, let me. Hang on. This thing's streaming, right? Okay, yeah, it looks like it's working. Okay, alright. We're good. Okay. Alright, sorry about that. I just had to make sure that this was working okay. Let me get this set up back up. Okay, here we go. Okay, so we're gonna kind of practice some of Bison's head stomps and what you can do. Now, I'm a little fuzzy on these because I don't really know exactly which the optimal Bison head stomp is. But we'll just try the regular head stomp first. So kind of what to do after that. You tried doing a jump like that. So typically after a regular head stomp, if you hit the standing medium punch high enough, that actually will work. Crouching hard punch works as well. Now let's try this one. It's just a medium one instead. Basically all of his regular head stomps, if he's just committing to the regular head stomp, you can do that. Shouldn't be too hard. EX1 is a little dicier. Oops. That one typically has priority. Although, it's not trading for me right now. Okay, there we go. That's the trade. So yeah, that one tends to trade a lot. You have to really... You have to really hit it early. It's really fickle. What you're better off doing... Oh, that's not gonna work. Oh yeah, that tracks, doesn't it? Like, this one is kind of iffy. Like, you can anti-air it, but you're going to kind of have to be careful with it. Because the very first bits of startup, he's fully invincible. After that, he just got a lot of active frames. So you kind of have to have this weird sweet spot. Otherwise, it'll trade. So yeah, it's kind of like ramming your head against a wall. It only works sometimes. I think the distance depends too. Like, really, there's not a whole lot you can do here but just block it. Like, honestly, that's probably your safest bet. And then if he decides to follow up with the other thing, it gets kind of dicey after that. So, like, after this, let's see if I can get that better. Okay. So that this, depending on how he does it, if he does it like right away, that's a little issue. And he can cross it up too. That's kind of the issue with that one. Usually as a rule of thumb, I just don't let him even do that. The Crush Heart Punch, Standing Medium Punch work on that one too. He can, however, cross you up with it, and that's a whole other ball game. It's kind of hard to replicate all of these. Now this one, it's a pretty nice one. Because you can do something like that. You can option select to where basically you're ready for the anti-air in case he falls on you. Otherwise, you're ready for a cross under. And that has no hurtbox, or sorry, no hitbox behind it. So you're basically in at that point. He can, however, wind it back if he sees that you're going to try F-dashing. So that's an option too. Oh, whoops. Messed that up. Why isn't it doing it? Hang on. Is it just the EX one that he can do? Oh yeah, the EX one, I think. I'm not gonna pretend like I know how to do Bison. I'm not sure, but yeah, anyway, his Devil's Reverse you can cross under. Oops. So yeah, that basically you just always want to F-dash under that. Although yeah, at the wrong distances. That's pretty much what you want to practice doing. It takes a little timing. Then he didn't do it. And yeah, at the right distances, he can get away with it. His EX one, you don't really do that as much, but you still can. So if he's like that. You can still punish him for that. Let's see. So that's typically what you want to do is F-dash when you see him do that, depending on what distance you're at. If you're at like this distance, then you want to. Like with the EX1, it auto tracks, so you can be like just about any distance. If you're like really far, sometimes you can kind of wind it back. However, to fix that, you can always just do a dash V-skill cancel. In fact, that actually gives you better recovery. So you can do something like that to punish him. So those are kind of some of the things to deal with Bison's Devil's Reverse, his Head Stomp, and then the follow-up to the Head Stomp. You kind of got to watch out because Bisons can steer it in a weird way, and they can, you know, kind of do more shenanigans stuff than what I can do because I don't play Bison, but those are just kind of some ideas with him on how to deal with it. And now we're going to kind of go into the Mika belly flops. Hold on, let me actually... This feels like it's coming in kind of loud. Let's turn these to 2.
Round 1.
Hopefully that's better for my being able to hear me over all the noise. Okay, every Balrog's favorite character, r.mika. I can't remember what it is. I think it's down medium punch in the air. Yeah, okay, so that thing is the bane of everybody's existence, especially Balrog players. Because she can delay it like crazy. So this is something you gotta kind of watch out for. Because if I medium punch wrong, like see I get punished for it. However, if I block this, although it gives me negative edge like crazy, so it's really stupid. I can actually punish it on block. And I can punish it on whiff. So yeah, there's options you can deal with that. You can also dash under and then block the other direction. So like if you're in the corner, oh whoops, it's not a dash. Oh, she put herself in the corner there. So yeah, that's an option. Another thing is you can just do a jump back light punch. Like this always will beat it out. The only thing is if she like preemptively does an air jump attack, then that might not work. But I tend to just do this against Mika's, just to keep them back. So I will show you kind of how you can practice this. So that's one. So the other one, wait, is that her? Okay, it's light kick, my bad, okay. So that'll be the other one. So obviously this isn't really a good practice because she's only doing jumps. Oh, let's have her changed here. Let's just have one where she's just like this. So yeah, if they do the delayed one, they do the kick one, unless the only way that they will do this is if they do a quick air to air kind of at the same time. Jump medium punch is also another one I forgot to mention. That's only if they're like already pretty high above you, you can get it pretty well. So if she's already in the air, I can do that. And I'm actually going to show you how you can use jump medium punch a lot better on certain ones. Jump hard punch is another good one. But it's a lot slower. Like that is more of an instant kind of reactionary thing. So basically against Mika, I personally just do jump back light punch whenever they jump, especially in the corner where she can cross you up. That tends to get her out of it. However, if she does, I think it's this. Let me try this. Okay. If she just has an instant one. Alright, I gotta set it. Oh, I guess I can, even when she does it instantly, I can still punch her out of it. That's good. And then yeah, if you block that, you can punish it. I personally don't like blocking any jump-ins from Mika because what if she doesn't do that and she does it, you know, a regular jump-in and then she gets you with one of her 5-hit block strings that can anytime go into a command grab. Yeah, I'm not gonna risk that. This thing is really hard to anti-air. Like you can do it, but they're not gonna do it consistently each time, and it has kind of a good hitbox, so I would not recommend just straight up anti-airing that. So that's kind of how you can practice doing it against Mika, is just have one of her kind of, you know, wiggling back and forth and then jumping into just a typical jump attack. Have one of her doing jump into, you know, the down medium punch, and have it delayed so it's meant to beat out anti-airs. And then have one of her just kind of wiggling back and forth as well. That way you can kind of practice getting used to it. But yeah, jump back light punch, that's what I would recommend. I don't actually have a Kuma on this file. I was probably eventually get the season passes, but I also have like just some info for Akuma jump back light punch tends to work a lot too. If he's doing demon flips, I always do that, because that gets him out of like all of his demon flip mix-ups. Unless he's in V trigger 1, then he can shoot fireballs. So basically, if you F jumps, you almost always want to dash under Akuma. I mean, he has a cross up, that's the only issue, but usually you can F dash under if you're fast enough and still block the cross up. So that's typically what you're going to want to do against Akumas when they F jump. You can also do a dash V skill cancel. You can do an EX low, things like that. But yeah, basically non-V trigger 1 Akuma demon flip, you want to jump back light punch. Both V trigger 1 and regular, you want to F dash under his forward jumps, because if he does the fireballs, you can actually punish him as he's landing if you catch it fast enough. But that covers Mika, and I kind of explain Akuma a little bit. Might be something if you have Akuma that you want to maybe practice yourself. And now for a very fun one, which you'll probably rarely come across people who do this. Not very many people play Dalsum, but this is still a useful piece of tech. Come on, Dalsum. There we go. Dalsum's taking his time. He's an old man.
Are you gonna pay me to train you?
Okay. So, one thing Dalsums love doing is the sniper. That thing. So, he'll do something like this. Although it's actually like something like, okay, let's start over here. So like that. And they do that if you have no health or like if you're at full stun. So let's set this to record here. So if that, first off, if that doesn't kill, you can punish it with a variety of things. You can do tap if you really want, from like any part of the screen. You can do that, which is like optimal meter gain for V meter. Oh, whoops. You can do something like that. You can do that for, more damage. You can do a lot of stuff. Can't do that. That pushed him too far back. Yeah, there's a lot of silly stuff you can do. You can just do heavy punch straight if you're like not reacting fast enough to it. There's a lot of stuff you can do. Basically, anytime a Yoga sniper hits you and it's not stunning you and not killing you, there's no reason why you're not punishing it. It is very punishable to do with Balrog. Alternatively, if you actually do see it coming, you can punish it all the same. You can even F dash and set yourself up for something like that. You can get tap into tap, which is great. Come on. Or you can do something like this. Oh, whoops, I didn't F dash. You can just get really creative with kind of what you can do against Dalsum to punish him with that. It's very fun. So basically, don't let Dalsum's Yoga sniper you. When you're at no health left, most likely they're going to do it. Now they can also mix it up with lows, so you do have to kind of watch out for that. But yeah, if you suspect a sniper, block it. or if they're unlucky and it doesn't actually kill you, then punish it. Punish it either way. So that's just a little bonus for Dhalsim. Actually, there's another thing I can cover too. So Dhalsim's also like doing stuff like that. So there's no reason why you shouldn't be watching for these and, you know, punishing him. You just have to kind of time it right. So yeah, you can punish anything that he does when he turns around. That leaves him wide open. Another one he likes doing is, oops, did that wrong. He does that one. And let's just make it more fun. Oops, not that. Darn it, that's not what I'm trying to do. So that. Let's turn both of these on. So these make him open. Both sides leave him open. You just have to be ready to punish it. So yeah, don't let Dhalsims do that to you. Another thing they like doing is this. Oops, not that. They like doing that. So let's try this. They try doing that. And then they're positive if they do that. So we're just gonna practice him if he does that, just so you can kind of see, because it's hard to replicate otherwise because of the spacing. So to deal with this, you just want to do one of those if you have the meter. And again, you want to be kind of wiggling in you know, neutral anyway. Medium punch works, crouching hard punch works, but it tends to trade depending on the you know, angle. Same with that. This is like a surefire way to deal with it. Alternatively, you can always punish it with your V reversal. So that's another option. Basically, if he spaces that right, he's really plus in your face. So a lot of times it's just worth doing something like that. You can even do a light kick screw smash, and at worst it usually trades, which if it does trade, I mean, you can always do something like that. Oh, I can't do it right now. Yeah, it's not letting me build enough charge fast enough. I guess I can't do a charge follow-up. But yeah, screw smash is another one you can do if he's doing it from far away enough. Medium kick is what you want to do if you're farther, but it has longer startup. So yeah, EX is for sure the one that you always want to be doing against that. Another thing you can do is actually, if you F dash into it, do you see how he was just negative on hit? If you forward dash into his drills, you're actually plus. Like, see, that was actually, let's see, he was -6. Like, see, that's an actual punish. So that's another option if you just want to take the damage. If you see a Dhalsim trying to drill you, they're trying to move around so they can calculate that spacing properly. So all you have to do is just F dash like an idiot, and it just completely screws off their groove and makes them super negative on hit. So things that you can try against Dhalsim to just mess with them. Basically, in general, with Balrog, there's no reason why Dhalsim should be giving you trouble. It's a really good matchup in Balrog's favor. It's just that nobody really plays Dalsum, so he has kind of the dark horse advantage there. But yeah, it's still something you should be getting. Vega, again, people still struggle with this matchup because you know, he's obviously not played too much, and he can be tricky with Balrog. So we're gonna kind of go into how to deal with his Barcelonas a little bit.
Let's get to the punching already.
So what we're gonna do for this, just gonna do a typical Barcelona. Show you kind of what to do. For this one, he's kind of doing this one is kind of steering a little weird. Basically, you kind of have to see where he's going with this one. Like, it's kind of hard. It's not going to be consistent, but basically, you either do heavy punch or medium punch, depending on where he's at. And you kind of want to jump with him. So, if I see him like that way, then I want to jump forward. Like, see, that's the optimal situation for medium punch. Usually if you're like in the corner, let me try this. He's gonna do the light one to try to cross you up, and that's when you can just do one of those. Jump back light punch also works in those situations. I don't know why he's gonna do it from that reach, but you never know. Now the EX one is a little trickier. So the EX one, oh, whoops. They can do that. So that one you still can do, like the same way. You can even do a medium punch. The issue with this is that there are ways that they can do it to where it has priority. Like they can do it instantly. And oh wow, that just made me go backwards. So yeah, in certain cases, although that's really weird. Generally, if you want just a quick way to get out of the corner, although that is really peculiar. I'm actually like going backwards with it. That's weird. I've never seen that before. Maybe it's because I never see Vegas actually using that from that distance. Let's try it from that distance. Okay, let's just try doing it from mid-screen. So yeah, crouching hard punch works still pretty well against that if they do it instantly. But see, if they do it fast enough, you can't really air-to-air reliably. Like you can, and I'm doing a really bad job at practicing this, but more often than not, you're going to want to jump with them and do a medium punch. Against EX Barcelona, it's a little different, because they can do weird things with the EX one where they can steer it and control it, so they can hit you before you hit them. So the EX one you do want to be more cautious of. The regular one you can always punish with jump medium punch or jump heavy punch. So yeah, that's something that you can practice. And yeah, of course that initial hit will hit you. And they're usually going to be doing it so it's on block. And I think on block, could be wrong. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, so that's something that you can just kind of fiddle with. I, again, don't play Vega, so I'm not really sure what exactly all his, you know, how you execute his Barcelonas properly to where it's like really scary for mix-ups and stuff, but there are ways that they can do it with the EX1 to where it's like you can't air-to-air them that reliably. So just kind of take that with a grain of salt. But the regular ones, you always want to be punishing with air-to-airs. So beyond that, that's actually about all I got for this stream. That's about all I was going to cover. Basically, you just kind of want to take those tips for all the extra little anti-air things. Practice them, you know, if you have time and you want to kind of touch up more on more further possible anti-air options. And yeah, I mean that's honestly about all I got. I expected it to be a little over an hour, but we actually made it about 50 minutes. So thanks guys for watching, and be sure to follow on Twitch if you haven't already. You know, like or subscribe on YouTube if you're watching the archives. Be sure to check out my streams live. I'm gonna try to do them every Friday night. You know, anywhere between like 6 and 10 p.m. Eastern is going to be kind of the time frame, so just be looking out for it. Other than that, I will see you guys later. Thanks very much for watching.